So hey y'all, hey, and welcome back to another session of Meditations with Marigny. So I wanted to hop on right now and I wanted to have a quick conversation about flexibility and appreciating the little things. And I want to say before I start, if you would, I would appreciate it if you would click like, if you would share this with a friend, if you think that you know somebody that could benefit from understanding flexibility and appreciating the little things, and if you would subscribe. I'm trying to now reach about 50 more subscribers. This is going to be a slow walk, so I'm not concerned with the numbers moving quickly as much as I am with the numbers moving consistently. So if you like this, or if you've liked any of my videos, if you don't mind, I would love it if you would like, share, and subscribe. But I want to get to being flexible, and I want to talk about appreciating the little things. And so today, I knew I had a pretty busy schedule. I had several meetings that were on my schedule for the day, and then I had one stop, which I'm at now. This is my third stop. That was kind of unexpected. I was trying to decide whether or not I was going to make it happen. And so I want to talk about this morning. As soon as I was leaving out the house, someone called me. Like literally, I had just gotten in my car, turned out of my subdivision, and I was driving down the street, and the person called, and I was like, I picked up the phone. I said, hey, how you doing? Like, it's so good to talk to you. You got the perfect timing, because I just got in the car. And so they were like, yes, well, I'm trying to catch you. I want to know, can I catch a ride with you? So I said, wait, because in my mind, I was going to plan to do this video this morning. And I was going to talk about something totally different. But my goal had been to get to my destination about 40 minutes early and to make sure that I had time to do a video before I went in. And so I told the person, I said, well, listen, I can come get you, but I can't wait. Like, you got to be ready to run out the door. Like, soon as I get there, put your makeup on in the car, do your hair, whatever. And so they were like, okay, give me 5 minutes. And so I went, picked them up, and we were driving, and she did just that. She was flexible enough to put her hair and makeup, do her hair and makeup while we were driving. And I was flexible enough to actually pick her up. And I'm saying that to say that I hadn't seen this person in a while. It's actually one of my mentees. And we had a chance to catch up. We had a chance to talk about some professional things. I had a chance to kind of pour into her and give her some life lessons. And so it was good. And then we get to our destination, and we go through what we need to. And I knew right behind that event, I had another event that I was participating in at that location. So I participated in that, and I was thinking, man, I'm really hungry. I had like a slight hunger headache going on. And so I said, I'm going to try to get something to eat. Well, on my way to actually, this will be my fourth event of the day. So on the way to the third event, I was like, I'll get something to eat. And then I was thinking to myself, no, I don't think time is going to permit. And so it didn't. I thought I would rather be a little bit early than to be late getting somewhere. And so I just went ahead and went, and I was like, man, I'm getting a slight hunger headache. I could feel it coming on. And so I finished up that event, and I was sitting there pondering, should I make this next stop? Like, should I do this? And I decided that I was going to make this last stop that I needed to make. I have someone that's dealing with the illness, and they're recovering, and I just said, well, I just can stop by and see them today. And so I'm saying that all to you because I was flexible today. Even in spite of things that were going on and things that happened, God allowed the time to be just right to service me for everything that I needed. But in the midst of me deciding to come here, I was looking for a Kroger. I like Kroger flowers. Their roses are always really fresh. I don't know where they get them from, but their distributor is really good. They last long in the house. They don't die quickly most times. And so I really like their flowers, and they have a variety of colors. And so I was looking for a Kroger. I was like, man, I really would like to take some flowers to her when I go. And so I was looking for one on my GPS in between. I was trying to see if it would map out one on the way, and it didn't. So I stopped at Burger King to get me something to eat. And normally, if I purchase from this particular Burger King, I make a right and go right out of the driveway. So when I got up there, I paid for my food, and she said, well, can you pull around to the other side? I'll bring the food out. So I said, oh man, is it going to be long? Like, if it's going to be long, I'll just have to go ahead and go. And she said, no, it won't be long. Just give us a minute. By the time you pull around, shortly afterwards, we'll be pulling up. So I go around to the other side, and I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting for her to bring my food. And when she brings the food, while I'm waiting for her, I'm sitting there, and in the shopping center, I see this sign that says roses. And I was like, man, I wonder if that's the rose shop that used to be across the street. Well, there's a rose company, like they sell roses and other things, but they're an importer. And sure enough, I said, I wonder if they're open. So I see their light on that says it's open. And I get my food. She brings the food out. She was like, I told you it wouldn't be long. And I was like, thank you, whatever. And we finished up that conversation. And so I pull over to the Rose location. And in my mind, as I'm pulling up, I'm like, well, thank you, God. You know, sometimes it is just us being flexible. I really didn't want to wait or have to go to the other side to wait on food. But my flexibility put me in a position where what I needed was right in front of me. What I needed was right there. I didn't have to go to another location. I just pulled in, left my food at the car, pulled in, ran inside, got the roses. Now this place, I knew they weren't going to have a big variety. They mostly carry red roses, and I'm not a big red rose fan, but I like them. But they're not my favorite. And so, and I knew I wanted a particular color for this person, but I was like, Marigny, just make this easy on yourself. Go in, get what you need, and come on out. And my point to you is that sometimes we forget to thank God for the little things. The little things that I didn't have to look for another store. I didn't have to stop at another location. What I needed was right there. And in it being right there, it gave me a convenience where I was able to grab the flowers. I was able to hop right back on the interstate and head right to my next destination. In relationships, ladies, hear me when I say I talk to men in the barbershop and at pool halls on a regular basis. One of the largest complaints that I hear from husbands and from significant others is the lack of appreciation for the things that they do, and the lack of appreciation for the little things. What you have to really consider with a man, most times, most women, we are very thoughtful. We think about things, you know, we're considering those things. If a man goes to the store and he picks out a card for you, and the card has specific words that say something, that means that he actually took time to go in the store, read those cards, and choose one that he felt was most fitting for what it was that he wanted to share with you. You can't take little things like that. Now, the card might have only cost him $2, but you can't take the little things such as he took the time to actually find words that he felt would emulate what it was that he wanted to say to you. And when you do that, what it does is it diminishes what he would possibly do at a further opportunity or a future opportunity. And so one of the things that I do like to share with ladies is that sometimes we can say that men are insensitive, we can say that they don't care, but if you really look at the little things, those little things are the things that he does for the woman that he loves. Now, I want to prerequisite that he's not going to do that for just any woman. He's going to do that for the woman that is a woman that he thinks something of, or he has a thought process towards her, or there is some level of I like you or I love you that's in that process, because he's not going to do that for just anybody. And so I do want to prerequisite that part, you know, and I mean, in this new society, you got to kind of just test the waters and see what that's like when it comes forth, because you have some men that will do it and they're doing it just because that's the game that they run until they're not going to do that again. So they'll do it long enough to kind of draw you in, and then they won't do it at all. But for the sake of this video, I really want to talk about, ladies, being flexible maybe not so yappy all the time, or why is this like this, or why is this like. I could have gotten upset and told the young lady, just give me my money back, I don't want to pay for it, I don't want to wait. And I just simply said, okay, I'll pull around, and I did. And as I'm sitting there waiting, exactly what I needed was right before me. So for me, in reference to just those things, the little things make me look at what and how I would respond in my relationship, and how I did respond. There were some small things that my ex used to do for me, and I really, really did appreciate it. That was one of the things that when he and I did talk after things were over, and he said, the one thing I can't say is that you didn't show appreciation for the things that I did for you. And he also said, and ladies, you might want to take this as a nugget, however you think. He said, I've never dated a woman that didn't want me for what I could do for her versus just wanting to be in my presence. And so there was a learning curve that was there for him as well. And I think hopefully he's learned that lesson by now, but that's neither here nor there. But I will just say, ladies, be flexible. Men, you as well, be flexible, and always remember to thank them for the little things. All right, y'all, have a good day. Remember, click like, share this with a friend, and subscribe. Bye.